The prosecution is to hand over to the defence later today in the trial of Dominique Pellicot, who's accused of drugging, raping and then allowed dozens of other men to rape his wife, Gisèle Pellicot. The prosecution wrapping up by demanding sentences of up to 15 years for many of the co-defendants. On Monday, they demanded 20 years for Pellicot himself. But we're going to cross then to the court in Avignon, talk to our reporter Carys Garland, who's there for us today. Carys, firstly, the defence then is due to take control later on, a key pivotal moment. I mean, what are they likely to hear from them?
Well, this will start with the lawyer of Dominique Pellicot, of course, the main accused in this trial. On Monday, prosecutors asked that he go to jail for 20 years for aggravated rape of his ex-wife, Gisèle Pellicot. That's the maximum sentence for that charge. Now, his lawyer, Béatrice Zavarro, we spoke to her on Tuesday. She told us that she's not her goal isn't to go and present excuses or justify what Dominique Pellicot did. She said her job is simply to explain how we got here, why he did what he did, and really tell the story of who he is as a person. Remind us that, after all, he is a human being. He is a man, even if he's been painted as a monster or as the devil by prosecutors. She also said that the goal was to present some kind of answers to his ex-wife, Gisèle Pellicot, and in the goal of eventually, I'm not going to say give closure to her, but give her the ability to walk out of this courtroom behind me with a certain sense of calm, let's say. So Béatrice Zavarro will take to the stand this afternoon, and her closing arguments will take up a large part of today, and then the other defence lawyers of the other defendants will start making their closing arguments too, a process which will run until December 13.
And it comes, of course, as the prosecution have been demanding those sentences, as you alluded to at the beginning, for those involved.
Right, so we've just seen the end of those sentence requests. Everyone coming out of that courtroom behind me just moments ago. This morning there were 4 remaining defendants that prosecutors needed to make sentence requests for. For these 4 last defendants, they're among these men who went to the Pellicot household between 5 and 6 times, for example, and another man who has already been convicted of raping his own daughter. So in these last few cases, prosecutors asked that they go to jail for between 16 and 18 years. Throughout this week, we've seen prosecutors ask that the other defendants go to jail between 10 and 17 years in the last couple of days. Most of them are facing charges of aggravated rape. And I'm just going to pause for a moment because you might hear the applause from the members of the public in the courtroom. They are applauding Gisèle Pellicot, as they do every day here as she comes and goes into the courtroom. So that's just a show of support, obviously, in the 12th week of this trial. But as the last sentencing requests were wrapping up, prosecutors wanted to just give a last final word about the significance of this trial. They said there will be a before and an after for this trial, and that they hope it'll contribute at least to some kind of changing in attitudes in society on rape. And they said that they hope that the verdict of this trial will at least give Gisèle Pellicot some of the humanity that had been stolen from her back to her.